Hello everyone and welcome to another Quick Thoughts video. This time I'm going to be going over my thoughts of episode 21 of Digimon Ghost Game, which is called The Spider's Lure. So just a quick recap of this episode. A mysterious lady invites Hiro and his friends to an insect exhibit or event, and they go along with it despite it being extremely super suspicious. The whole time it was just like, especially when they entered the place and she's really creepy and suspicious, they're all like, yep, this seems fine, this seems normal. Anyway, so the woman, surprise surprise, turns out to be Arukenimon and wants to eat the brilliant minds of humans, which is terrifying. In the opening bit of the episode, in fact, we get to see and hear her eat people's heads, which is definitely taking it up from just like a little bit creepy to just gory almost levels of gore, especially with like the sound effects they put in. It's very creepy. Anyway, so the group gets split up and fight against hordes and hordes of Cubeymon, but each of the three end up being captured anyway and wrapped up in the spider web. Gammamon is about to have his head eaten, but he evolves into Gules Gammamon and is able to defeat Arukenimon quite violently by exploding her head. He just shoves his fist in her mouth as she's trying to eat and just uses his attack. And so Arukenimon's defeated and a black Galgomon watches on. So first of all, my thoughts for this episode is that Arukenimon eating the heads of the victims at the start of the episode was so creepy and bordering on disgusting. We don't get to actually see it happen. We get to just see the other victim watching on being disgusted, but the sound effects that are played over the top just fill in any blanks or gaps or bits of confusion that you may have about what is happening. So while it's not showing on-screen gore, the sound effects well and truly make up for it. It is disgusting, and it's done in a really nice way. I mean, when I say nice, I mean it's done in an effective way. There's probably a better word rather than, yes, decapitating and eating heads is nice. But the sound effects playing over the disgusted face of the other victim and the traumatized face also of the victim it definitely makes up for the fact that you can't actually show someone eating a head on TV, even if it's animated. So it's done quite well in that way. And so the audible, just all the auditory responses are just like, it's just horrifying and gross, and I don't like it. And then, speaking of things I don't like, we also have the swarms of Cubeymon, which are also horrific, and add to the fact that the characters all get captured, and everything feels really hopeless. There's like a whole hopeless atmosphere. The characters actually lose. They're overpowered by these Cubeymon and Arukenimon. Even though they try their best to fight, and they do defeat some Cubeymon, we are able to cut down some of the security cameras that Arukenimon has up with the help of Kiyoshiro and Tesla Jellymon, but at the end it's all not enough to fight against these just swarms of Cubeymon. They all end up getting captured anyway. But of course, it brings us to having Gules Gammamon again, and we have a moment where Hiro kind of steps forward to speak to Gules Gammamon, and Gules Gammamon says that it's not time yet. So this also leads into there's something going on with Gules Gammamon, and maybe the future being Gules Gammamon is under control, or Gules Gammamon knows the future or is from the future, or something to that effect. We have Hiro approaching Gules Gammamon rather than being horrified of him this time, and Gules Gammamon not being entirely disgusted by Hiro like he was the first time that we saw him. So we have Gules Gammamon again, yay, and again, the voice acting is incredible for Gules Gammamon. The voice is so creepy and just reminds me so much of Claymore. And I know I said that the last time we had Gules Gammamon show up, but it's done exceptionally well. I also like at the end how Gules Gammamon just kind of says, "See ya," and then reverts to Gammamon. That shows to be more like control over reverting rather than just, "Oh, I'm tired now, so I'm going to revert." And I really like that. I'm glad that we have sort of this Gules Gammamon, despite still being an adult level, is shown to be stronger than all the other levels of Gammamon and more mature in that way. It's also interesting to note the Gules Gammamon is actually the bad care Digimon on the Vital Bracelet for the Gammamon Dim. So while he's seen as being stronger in the anime, it's not the case on the actual Vital Bracelet itself. Anyway, so I did mention at the end of the episode we have a black Galgomon looking on, and Galgomon is of course Terriermon's adult form, but this is the black variant of it, so he's kind of instead of a white and green, he is a brown and black Galgomon, and looks very mysterious, very ominous, and again, it's another case of Gules Gammamon showing up, and we have a black variant of another Digimon watching on. Whether this is an evolution from the black Agumon that we saw in the Gules Gammamon introduction episode, or whether this is a separate Digimon altogether, I don't know. I'd like it to be an evolution from Agumon, the black Agumon, rather than just have all of these black variants running around, but it could also be just there are lots of these dark variants or shadow variants or black variants in the same way that we have the purple Cubeymon shop at the very start of the series, which is, I believe, called Yokomon. It's just a purple version of Cubeymon, which is, again, one of the dark variants of an existing Digimon that we've had, especially because it's an existing Digimon that we've had of a partner Digimon in another season. So this could be related to the Yokomon being kind of like a little bit suspicious in a way. I wonder if they're related at all, or if they're just coincidentally existing in this show. Again, I think it could be actually an evolution from the Black Agumon that we had a few episodes ago in the Gules Gammamon debut episode, on the basis that they are both watching Gules Gammamon at the same time. Maybe it got an evolution, but in any case, those are just my predictions and suspicions and theories at the moment because it's only episode 21, and we still don't know how many episodes this series is actually going to get. There's also a bit of news that, and this is being confirmed by Fuji TV and the official YouTube channel that is showing these episodes of Ghost Game, but there's not going to be an episode next week. Episode 22 will actually be airing on March 20th, rather than in a week from now, so that gives us another week to kind of write up theories and suspicions that we have about this black Galgomon. But that's basically me for this week. What do you think of this episode? What are your theories about Black Galgomon? Do you think he's related to Agumon in some way? Or is completely different? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like this video and of course subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye!